Well, ladies and gentlemen, it appears we're on the horizon of the next chapter in the epic Grand Theft Auto saga. And by horizon, I mean it just got delayed. Again. For the second time. And I'm using this analogy because GTA 6 truly feels like the horizon at this point, an imaginary line where the sky meets the earth. But the closer you get to it, the further it moves away from you. I mean, you can clearly see GTA 6 from here, and it looks amazing, revolutionary even. But you'll unfortunately have to wait another 370 days before you can get your hands on it, assuming there are no more delays. However, there is a silver lining in this whole unpleasant situation, and it's the fact that we already know quite a lot about GTA 6 thanks to the infamous 2022 Mega Leak, various community projects, and Rockstar themselves, who have released 2 official trailers. So in this video, I'll attempt to compile literally everything about GTA 6 that's been confirmed so far from reliable sources and things that were in the development build a few years ago, but may or may not make it into the final release now. For my sources, I'll be using both Trailer 1 and Trailer 2, as well as version 1.6 of the GTA 6 document, as well as the 6 mapping project. No clickbait, no rumors, none of that nonsense, just pure data and information from reliable people who have been spot on with their predictions as well as analysis in the past. Also, this video will be split into multiple sections based on timestamps for ease of consumption, so here they are. If you already know about something, you can skip it and move to the next section that interests you. Alright, let's kick things off with the characters, as these are the cornerstone to every good GTA story. And once again, just like with GTA 5, we've got multiple protagonists here, but this time, instead of a dynamic trio, we're getting a Bonnie and Clyde inspired couple in Jason Duval and Lucia Caminos. Jason seems like the archetypal morally gray GTA character who grew up in a rough neighborhood, joined the army in his late teens, then went on to become a handyman, doing odd jobs for some shady folk. His official bio tells us all about the sort of person he is, someone who just wants an easy life, but things keep getting harder as he tries to fit in with the rest of civilized society. Oh, and the middle-aged man you see stepping out of the vapid Cara 4x4 at the start of trailer 2, well, that's Brian Hader, Jason's landlord and employer, as well as an old-school drug runner who's been active since the 1980s. These days, he moves product through his boatyard with the help of his third wife, Lori, who you can see in the screenshot right here, and he's one of the many secondary characters who we're gonna get to meet in GTA 6. Our second protagonist, as well as Jason's love interest in the game, is gonna be Lucia Caminos, who has quickly become a fan favorite due to her exuberant personality. But putting the Gooner bait aside for a moment, it is worth noting that Lucia is going to be the first playable female protagonist in the history of GTA, and that's certainly interesting here because we've never had a female ass kicker like her ever before. I mean, she clearly knows how to fight based on those official screenshots of her in a boxing gym, and in the trailers you can even see that she's wearing a boxing glove necklace around her neck. The reason behind Lucia's interest in kickboxing is her father, who taught her to fight from a very young age, almost right after she learned how to walk, and that's also how she got herself into the Leonida Penitentiary, by fighting for her family. We can observe an ankle monitor on Lucia's leg and all the promotional artwork as well as the trailers, so this could be the game's way of restricting our movement and controlling which areas we're able to explore early on, kind of like Red Dead Redemption 2, where at the start you can't visit every part of the map and things gradually unlock as you progress through the story. Aside from Jason and Lucia though, there are several other characters featured on Rockstar's official GTA 6 webpage, and one of them is Cal Hampton, who's Jason's friend. He loves conspiracy theories, which means he's kind of like a fatter version of Ron from GTA 5, and he's always snooping on Coast Guard communications with a few beers at his side and a bunch of private browser tabs open on his PC. However, my favorite character from the official GTA 6 webpage has to be Raul Batista, because this guy looks like a walking Heat reference just with the way he's dressed, and then there's the fact that he's a seasoned bank robber as well, so maybe he could be our gateway to heist in GTA 6? I don't really know, but he looks awesome and he has this sort of commanding presence, so I'm guessing he's gonna play a pretty major role in the story. Next, let's talk about the map. We already know Leonida State is going to be much larger than the GTA 5 map, but how much larger do you think it'll be? If I were to hazard a guess here, I'd say around 200% bigger, so approximately thrice the area of Los Santos plus Blaine County combined. And we can sit here speculating all day long, but there's a community of highly dedicated fans who have taken it upon themselves to manually scroll through every single frame from the trailers, every single screenshot from the GTA 6 newswire, and they've laid it all out on this community mapping project right here called 6 Map, which is currently on its 8th iteration. You can't see everything because the map is only made from the data available through the officially released material, but these guys are some real geniuses because they've geolocated actual real-life buildings in Florida from the buildings shown in the trailer and screenshots, and they've separated these in-game buildings into both confirmed and speculative categories so you could see exactly which landmarks, roads, and railways are where. Right now, we've got 6 confirmed locations that'll be in the GTA 6 map. First is Vice City, obviously, which is Rockstar's parody of Miami, and it's on the southeast side of the map. Then Then there's the Leonida Keys, further down from Vice City, which is an archipelago that's clearly based on the real-life Florida Keys. We also have the Grass Rivers just above Leonida Keys, and this is a marshland full of gators and mangroves, which is inspired by the Florida Everglades and Cedar Key. There's also Port Gellhorn on the western side of the map, and this is an old city port which is based on real-life Panama City and certain Bay County municipalities like Callaway as well as Springfield. Then in the middle of the map, you've got Ambrosia, which is the industrial heart of Leonida with its old sugar refinery, and this is right underneath Lake Leonida, which is the big central lake where you'll probably be able to fish. And then we finally got Mount Calaga all the way up north, and this is supposed to be sort of a natural retreat hotspot on the map with places for hunting, fishing, kayaking, and mountain biking. Probably a drug running hotspot too, as it's right on the border between Leonida State as well as Gloriana State, which is supposed to be a parody of Georgia. Now let's discuss the story. What is GTA 6 story going to look like? Well, we know next to nothing about the various plot points and characters, other than what Rockstar has shown us in their newswire and trailers, and I don't want to get too much into speculation here with this video. However, based upon info from GameRoll on Twitter, a chapter-based progression system is very likely here, very similar to RDR2, where the story has 6 main chapters and 2 epilogue chapters. And why should you trust GameRoll? Well, he is the same guy who leaked Jason as well as Lucia's last names well before trailer 2 dropped, so I think he might have some legit insider connections, or he at least knows people who are involved with the QA and testing process. GameRoll also mentioned that there are over 700 stores for players to enter and rob, indicating that GTA 6 is centered around robberies rather than big scale heists. Those heists will still be in the game, but store and diner robberies are something that you will be able to do at any point without some big scripted planning phase with a bunch of cutscenes. And he also stated that malls are functional, which means you can enter inside and purchase stuff or even rob them if you want. And based on this Discord screenshot, GameRoll does suggest that you'll get 3 options for robberies. Either you go in with Jason or Lucia individually, or you can take both Jason and Lucia in at the same time and switch between them seamlessly. There are also some new gameplay mechanics that I want to talk about, and once again, the vast majority of these are taken from the official GTA 6 document, which itself is constructed from mechanics and items that fans have observed in the 90+ leaked gameplay clips. First, let's talk about items. There are a ton of new items here that we've never seen before, like the immobilizer bypass for stealing luxury cars and supercars. Then there's a USB drive, which is presumably there so you can insert viruses and malware into target PCs or computer networks. There's also a tracking jammer, which might be used to prevent the police from zeroing in on your GPS location. We also have a duffel bag and backpack, which indicates a limited inventory size, similar to Red Dead Redemption 2, where you can only carry a few weapons on you at any given time, and if you want to swap out weapons, you have to return to your horse and select new guns from the saddlebag. This theory is further supported by the weapon wheel, which does show individual slots for each hand, and you have a primary, secondary, as well as melee weapon. There are also 2 different types of healing items, trauma kits and painkillers, in addition to regular food that you can consume to regain health. Does this mean we'll have temporary and permanent damage, or even bleed damage? I don't know, but that could be really interesting. We'll also be able to switch which shoulder we shoot from, and both protagonists will get special abilities. Jason's special power is a combination of Eagle Eye and Deadeye from Red Dead, and Lucia's special ability appears to be related to hacking, although hers isn't necessarily confirmed in the document itself. We'll also be able to sell cars and art items at fences, and there's also a money laundering icon on the map. So who knows? Maybe we'll do some money laundering activities as well. There's also going to be a weight and muscle system where you can gain weight, lose weight, become jacked, or become skinny, all depending on what you eat and how much you work out. And I think it would be really funny here if he got too fat and couldn't even attempt certain missions, like in GTA San Andreas, where CJ can't start Green Goo or Black Project if he's too overweight. The leaked clips also show your player character carrying bodies, similar to Red Dead Redemption 2, so it might indicate an actual stealth system here where you take out enemies one by one, then hide their bodies in a dumpster or closet so nobody detects you. You can also rob random customers while holding up a diner or store, and you can even threaten them and talk with them so they don't report you to the police. Weapons can also be dropped or picked up, and you're able to command your partner in the middle of a firefight or robbery, so you can tell them to fall back, take cover, assist you with healing, or you can even tell them to surrender. And the biggest change by far here is the NPC and police AI, which appears to be much better at controlling groups of people. Previously, GTA NPCs would pretend to be in a group, but really they were all running individual routines, and the game would just instruct them to do something and they'd all do it together, which is why enemies in GTA 5 just run at you like headless chickens, occasionally taking cover, but mostly they just follow a straight path from their spawn to your location with their fingers on the trigger. But in GTA 6, we have enemies who function as part of separate groups with separate tactics, and this also applies to pedestrians as well. Some of them you see in the trailer, and they're all doing different things, like one group is posing next to a car while the other is taking selfies, and then you have a bunch of NPCs dancing off to the the side. It might seem scripted, and maybe it is, but the core theme with GTA 6 will be the organic, unscripted interaction between gameplay systems. Things like dynamic weather, real-time pathfinding, smart cops, witnesses, and people with daily routines. All these components clash with each other to create unique and interesting situations for you to navigate in this game as the player. The dispatch system has also been reworked, and now instead of spawning cops right next to you, there's a witness report mechanic, and cops will take action based on the level of info they receive on you, like how you look, what weapon you're holding, and what car you're driving, which building you were last spotted at, etc. And based on different awareness levels, you'll get to see different tactics and equipment used by the police. The GTA 6 doc also shows a number of world events that you can participate in, like dice, golf, fishing, races, and scuba diving. It also mentions random encounters triggered by being in the right place at the right time, and there's also something called a cop ambush event, where police officers will lay traps for you along certain intersections or back roads and try to capture you as you drive along those paths. GTA 6 will probably have a greet and antagonize option for NPCs based on leaked clips, and a ton of side missions and events linked to stores. And so here's a quick scroll through of all the missions that have been confirmed based on the leaks. And so here you can pause and take a look if you want. The document also talks about enterable buildings, and it lists a few that were shown in the leaks. These include a pawn shop, a strip club, a supermarket, a bar, a restaurant, as well as an apartment. If GTA 6 implements a procedural generation system for building interiors, it can make that 70% figure that was leaked actually possible, as in 70% of buildings in the game will have enterable interiors. The game is also going to have a ton of wildlife and wildlife related activities, like how we know it'll have snakes, seagulls, raccoons, skunks, alligators, boars, squirrels, crayfish, turtles, iguanas, possums, whales, ducks, deer, and mountain lions just from the leaked footage and trailers. But that's probably just 1% of the total number of animal species we're gonna see in this game. There are so many different biomes to play with here. You've got swamps, mountains, oceans, and lakes. The possibilities are honestly pretty endless. And we already know about hunting, kayaking, fishing, off-road racing, and scuba diving will be present as mini-games or even activities within GTA 6. That much is confirmed by now. But in addition to that, it'll also have van shipments that you can do for money, robberies, and deliveries. Maybe you can even do vehicle customization jobs for customers, kind of like the auto shop in GTA Online. I guess we'll certainly find out when the game releases. And speaking of vehicles, there are honestly dozens that have already been confirmed at this point just from the trailers alone, and the people over at GTA Base have done a fantastic job of compiling all that information into one big database with photo proof. So I highly recommend you check them out after this video if you're interested in GTA 6's vehicles, because I could probably go on for 10 or 15 minutes just listing off all the confirmed cars, and that would make this video way too long and boring. Some of the big names you can expect though to see are the Coquette, the Comet, the Dominator, Futo, Granger, Growler, Omnis EGT, Rebel GTS, Sentinel XS, Shafter V12, Buffalo, Banshee, as well as the Vigoro ZX. Now that's just a tiny fraction of the returning cars, so go on a GTA base if you want the full picture with those. And with that, now you have the complete picture of everything we know about GTA 6 thus far. Will this be the final delay? Probably. I really hope so, as the game is in a content complete state right now, according to some insiders. And based off those various insider sources, all that's really left is optimization and playtesting, and probably GTA 6 online development to make sure that everything works as intended. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/hazardoushdtv. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next Grand Theft Auto video. Adios, amigos.